Okay, I've got a bit of news for you, and then there's something I really want to say to anybody who's just starting out because the two things are connected. The news first. We've been sitting down and planning out what's come next for this channel. One of the things I'm most excited about is a whole run of videos aimed squarely at complete beginners. Proper start from zero stuff. Because a lot of you who write in are not lifelong gardeners with decades behind you. You're people who just decided, maybe a little later in life, that this is finally the year you give it a go. I think that's wonderful, and that hawk nearby does too. And I think you'll be served well from the videos that are out there, but I think you already know that there's 100 different things that you need to do that no one actually taught you. So we're gonna try and fix that. More in the details when they're properly ready. And honestly, I've been looking forward to making these more than just about anything. There's something special about getting started and helping someone right at the very beginning before they picked up any bad habits or any of the fear. So if that's you, this whole run is going to be for you. Putting it together got me thinking. If I can only say one thing to somebody picking up a trowel for the first time, just one thing, what would it actually be? And I've gone back and forth on this a little bit because there's so much I could say. I could go on about soil, watering, which things are the easiest to grow, all genuinely useful tips, but none of that is the one thing. The one thing I'd say is start small. Give yourself full permission to kill some plants. Now, let me take this one at a time because both halves really matter. Start small. This is the big one. And it's almost the exact opposite of what an excited beginner wants to do. When you first, catch the bug for gardening, you want to grow everything. You see the seed packets, the gorgeous photos, all the possibilities, and you go straight out and plant like an enormous garden, 20 different things, big, ambitious bets, the whole lot. And here's what happens. Almost every single time by the middle of the summer, it's all just too much. You can't keep up with the watering, the weeding, the feeding. It gets away from you. Half of it fails, and you'll end up staying there looking at this overwhelming mess, feeling like you're simply no good at any of it. And an awful lot of people will quit right there. Not because they couldn't garden, but because they bit off more than they could chew, bit off more than anyone could chew on their very first year. So don't do that. Grow 4 or 5 things that you actually like to eat. One bed, handful of pots, just get those right. Learn what a thriving plant actually looks like, what a struggling one looks like, and work on a small enough scale that you can actually pay attention to each one. You're going to learn 10 times faster from a small garden that you can manage than from a big one that's quietly drowning you. And then next year, when those first few things have become second nature to you, you can add a few more plants. The garden grows as your confidence grows. That's a natural way to do it. And almost nobody does it that way. Almost everybody wishes that they did it that way. But honestly, if I were starting in tomorrow, I'd plant a pot of mixed herbs right by the door, maybe a tomato plant or two, the biggest pots I could get my hands on, and maybe a short row of lettuce. I'd keep coming from it. Maybe some beans, a few canes, because they're forgiving and give you loads. But that's it. That's the first year. That's everything you'll genuinely use, and you can learn from there. Now, the second thing, I give you permission to kill some plants. I promise you will. Everybody does. I've killed more plants than I can count, and I work on a gardening channel. The most experienced grower you can picture in your head has a quiet graveyard of plants behind them that just didn't make it, and it's completely, totally, 100% normal. The difference between people who get good at this and people who give up is that the good ones never. It's not that they never kill anything; it's that they don't take it personally. When a plant dies on them, they don't think I'm a failure. I've got no green thumb. They think, I wonder what went wrong here. And then they have to look into it, and then they tuck it away, and they do it slightly better next time. They learn from it. Every single plant you lose is teaching you something. It's not defeat. It's tuition. It's the price of learning, and it's more than a fair price. Now, I'll give you mine. My first ever batch of seedlings. I grew them up on a windowsill. Beautiful little things I was proud of, and the day I marched them outside, they were dead within 48 hours. Every last one. I had no idea you're supposed to toughen them up slowly first, let them get used to the wind and the real sun over like a week or so. No one had told me that, so I killed a whole tray learning that. You know what? I never made that mistake again. That sad, dead tray taught me more than anything else could have. So there's no such thing as a green thumb, by the way. I genuinely don't believe that. There are only people who killed enough plants to have learned what works. That's it. The natural gardener you quietly admire is just someone who's been failing at it for longer than you have and paying close attention the whole time. So that's my one thing, really. Bold it into 2. Start a good bit smaller than your ambition is begging you to. And then when things die, just let them die. Don't let that stop you. give it a shrug, plant the next one. Do that and just keep going at it season after season. And one day, without ever really catching the moment it happened, you'll glance up and realize you quietly become a gardener. Not because you read the exact right thing or bought the exact right gadget, just because you kept going. So keep an eye out for those beginner videos that I got. And to everybody just starting, I mean this, I'm glad you're here. Now go and plant something small and don't be scared to lose it.